Well, good evening, everyone. This is Mike Bass back again with another forecast update for you for this October the 8th, 2024. I'm hoping everybody had a great Tuesday out of so far. Everybody had a great Tuesday evening. Hope everybody continues to stay safe and well, and also enjoy the weather because it's the only weather you got. Okay, in tonight's video, we're going to be talking about Major Hurricane Milton, located over the southern Gulf of Mexico. Here is the satellite imagery of this system. As you can see, we have the eye wall well defined here. Got a lot of deep convection around the center. Also, we're getting a little bit of dry air trying to wrap into the north side of the center as well. So if that continues that trend, it will slowly begin to weaken, mainly on the northern side, but pretty well wrapped around here in the middle. So, but anyway, there is the eye wall of Major Hurricane Milton. Alright, let's take a look at the forecast cone for the National Hurricane Center. As you can see, here is the forecast. Here's the tropical storm force winds in yellow. Orange has hurricane winds. You can see we got tropical storm warnings in effect for portions of northern Mexico around the Yucatan Peninsula. Also, we have more tropical storm warnings in the blue from portions of the Panhandle to the Big Bend, then across South Florida, Florida Keys, Northwest Bahamas, a little bit across eastern southeast Georgia. We have hurricane warnings in the red from the west coast of Florida, also the east coast. Tropical storm watches for the South Carolina coast and portions of northeast Georgia. You can see we have a major hurricane all the way through landfall at 1 a.m. Thursday morning. Then a hurricane by Thursday at 1 p.m. and then there it goes. 1 a.m. Friday is a hurricane here, then the tropical storm by 1 p.m. Friday. There's Bermuda, and there's the center of the storm going south of Bermuda, but you may get affected by portions of Milton. Alright, if you have not subscribed to my channel, make sure you subscribe. Also like these videos, share these videos, and let's finish getting the show on the road there, folks. Alright, if you're tracking the system at home, it's located near latitude 22.7 north, longitude 87.5 west. Maximum sustained winds are at 165 miles an hour with higher gusts. Moving to the east-northeast at 9 miles per hour. Classified as major hurricane with winds greater than 110 miles per hour. Alright, let's take a look at the Spaghetti-O models. Here's the current position of the storm. Well compacted, going across central South Florida, out toward Bermuda, and on out to the eastern and central tropical Atlantic. And we can say goodbye to Milton after it crosses Florida. Alright, let's take a look at the intensity guidance of this. As you can see here, it's the 140 knot winds to 165. Remains a category 5 hurricane, then dropping back to a 4, 3, and then back down to a tropical storm pretty much from about 48 to 120 hours out. So get ready, folks. Hurricane Milton's on the way to Florida. If anybody knows anybody in Florida, tell them to get out because the storm is on the way, and it looks like it's going to do a lot of damage to that area. Alright, here's the 2 p.m. advisory on the tropics. Here's Milton. Here's Leslie. Got a little system just east of Florida. Has a 20% chance of development over the next 2 days and 7 days. We have another little system coming off the African coast. 0% over the next 2 days and a 30%. Let me make sure. No, 20% over the next 7 days. But I would not be surprised. Maybe these numbers could go up as well. So just want to let you know that in the video here. Alright, let's move on to the current watches warning advisory map. You're located across the nation. Alright, you can see we got air quality alerts over portion of Oregon. We got a couple counties in California with some heat advisories. Also sets of heat warning for portions of South California, also southern Arizona. Air quality alerts there as well. Same again in portions of Wyoming, Colorado, and Texas. Also, we have some red flag warning for portion of Idaho and also a couple counties in Wyoming. Frost advisories over Wisconsin over to Michigan, also toward New Hampshire, Vermont, Delaware, and also in the portion of Maine, a little bit in West Virginia. Hurricane local statements for portions of South Georgia, Southeast Alabama, the Panhandle, Florida. Here's the tropical storm warnings, hurricane warnings, watches in effect for a portion of Florida. I even have some watches along the coastal Carolinas and also eastern Georgia. Tropical storm warnings in the Atlantic coastal waters. Hurricane warnings also the east coast of Florida, west coast, and also the Gulf of Mexico. Hawaiian Chain Island looks good. Special weather statements for central Alaska. Alright, Storm Prediction Center. Here's the severe weather perspective. As you can see, we have a marginal risk down in portions of Florida. We have a slight risk from Orlando to Melbourne to Tampa to Fort Myers to Miami, Florida Keys. Let's take a look at the tornado probability. We have a 5% in the brown, 2% in the green. Winds, we have about 5% in the brown from, like I said, Orlando to Tampa to Melbourne to Fort Myers, also Melbourne, also the Florida Keys. Large hail, nothing to report on it. Alright, let's move on to the next graphic here. Here's the rainfall totals across the area. As you can see, we have a 1 to 2 inch swap in the lighter green, darker green 2 to 4. Then we have a swap of 4 to 6 from the Gulf of Mexico to the out toward the coastal Atlantic. Also, we have a area of 8 to 12 stretching from the Gulf of Mexico through Florida. Also, a couple patches over here in the Atlantic coastal waters. Then we have a 12 to 16 inch range from the Gulf of Mexico just around the Tampa Bay, portion of northwest Orlando, also in the portion just north of Orlando as well. And then we have a pretty much we have a little 16 to 20, just a little patch here over a portion of the Gulf of Mexico. Some of that could move inland over Florida, so expect a lot of flooding over the Florida region. Alright, let's move on to the next graphic. Here is the flash flood potential. You can see we have a slight risk across southeast Georgia, portion of the Big Bend area of Florida, then around Jacksonville to Miami to Key West, Florida. You are in a slight risk. Then we have a moderate risk or extreme risk from Tampa Bay to Orlando, and then a moderate risk in the orange, kind of pink color around the high risk area. So alright, and finally we're going to wrap it up with the storm surge. Still expecting 1 to 3 feet from Indian Pass over towards Swanee River, and then again from South Santee River to Edisto Beach, South Carolina, and then Sebastian Inlet down to Palm Beach / Martin County line, and then again from Card Sound Bridge back up toward the Florida Keys. Then we have a 2 to 4 inch range from up here from Edisto Beach all the way down to Sebastian Inlet, and then again from around Flamingo Island up Chilosky, and then again up here from Chassiwazi all the way up to the Swanee River. And then we have a 5 to 10 feet range in the red, and then a 10 to 15% range from Inglewood up to Cockley River. So there's your peak storm surge forecast. So right now it's going to be a lot of water moving into the Tampa Bay area and also towards the Charlotte Harbor region, and also these other areas here along the west coast of Florida. So get ready for a lot of water to invade Florida. So there's going to be a lot of damage going on when this storm gets done with Florida. So get ready to see that on the news. You will see a lot of damage. Alright, well, I hope everybody enjoyed the video. Make sure you subscribe if you have not. Like these videos, share these videos, and we'll catch you back in the next video. So have a wonderful Tuesday evening, folks. Enjoy the weather, because the only weather you got.